Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 38th Annual General Meeting of CANTO. My name is Tamara Williams, and it is such a pleasure to be with you here today to fulfill the role of navigating you through these proceedings. Now, I look forward to spending these 2 days with you, engaging in the discussions of course, and I encourage you to do the same as well. I am based in Trinidad today, right here at CANTO General Secretariat, and I invite CANTO's Secretary General, Teresa Wankin, to bring opening remarks on this 38th Annual General Meeting.
Chairman David Cox, Vice Chairman Mike Antonios, CANTO's Board of Directors, speakers and panelists, sponsors, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and thank you for joining us at our 38th Annual General Meeting and supporting activities. I always take great pleasure in welcoming you to CANTO's events, and today is no different. By now, we are no strangers to virtual events, and as circumstances will have it, we come to you once again via our amazing platform under the theme, Enabling the Digital Divide. This past year has been significant in many ways. Globally, we are still amid the COVID-19 pandemic, which has changed the way in which we work, socialize, communicate, and live. Consequently, the industry in which we operate has been placed at the forefront of connectivity, with demands being made on you, our operators and service providers, to not only meet the growing demands of the publics you serve, but to anticipate and exceed their expectations. This has created an environment for great innovation and collaboration, and that's where CANTO plays a critical role, creating a platform where all major stakeholders can meet, exchange ideas, discuss opportunities, and collaborate. Over the next 2 days, we have curated a very informative, engaging, and dynamic agenda. You will also receive a first look into the CANTO e-market platform, which will bring speed, innovation, and transparency to your procurement processes. Of course, it would not be a CANTO event without showcasing our culture, so you can look forward to some engaging features as well as the chance to win lovely prizes courtesy of sponsors. I'm thankful to the sponsors who have supported us in creating this unique space, and I extend our sincere appreciation for the following companies. Our headline sponsors, Cable and Wireless Communications and Liberty Latin America. Our diamond sponsors, GTT, ATN International, and Firemines. Our gold sponsor, Integra Touch. Our silver sponsors, Telesur, Digital Business, Oracle Caribbean, A10 Networks, and Sastel International. And our bronze sponsors, Bureau of Telecommunications and Post, Internet Society, Calix, Aliv, Stenula, Caribbean Governance Training Institute, Element, Turks and Caicos Telecommunications Commission, PBS Technologies, TSTT, Comtrend, Cable Bahamas, Power and Tel, ICANN, and Starlink. We must also do the business of the association in our annual general meeting. Led by our chairman, our various committees will present their reports as we acknowledge the progress we have made and the lessons we have learned over the past year. We will also elect directors who will lead the association into this digital evolution. Let us all be mindful of our surroundings, whether joining from your home or the office. Try to limit your distractions as we get set to fully engage and participate. I look forward to your active participation on the platform. Even though it's virtual, we have made it easy for interaction, networking, and exploring net business opportunities. Lastly, I must acknowledge and commend the hard work and dedication of the Secretariat team in delivering this amazing event. And as always, to our chairman and the board of directors for your usual support and guidance. Without further ado, thank you all for joining us today. Let us have a fantastic event.
Thank you so much, Teresa. I turn the screen over to CANTO's chairman for his opening remarks.
Welcome, everybody. For taking the time to join us today. We really appreciate your support. We know how very busy everyone is, and it means a lot to us that you can take time out of those incredibly busy schedules to spend with us. And we think we've prepared a really interesting program for you over the next couple of days, and we hope you agree. Please give us your feedback, and we'll be looking forward to seeing what you think and what we can do to improve. You know, 2021, frankly, was a difficult year. It was a difficult year for CANTO, but it was also an incredibly difficult time for people individually, everywhere, all over the world, and the Caribbean, of course, was no exception. And before we get into the formality of today and into the discussions and program we have prepared, I just want to take a moment to encourage everyone who might be watching this program right now to take some time to acknowledge the stress you're experiencing and to think about how you can take better care of yourself. I just want to encourage each of you to recognize that, you know, in our own personal lives, we've been under such stress, and it's a good time to perhaps think about visiting your kids at school for a surprise, or taking your wife out to an unscheduled dinner date, or just to get a bit of exercise. It's always a good idea for us to talk about why CANTO exists and what value CANTO adds to us in the region. And the way that I think about it is that CANTO is a marketplace for ideas about Caribbean development through the lens of technology. If you are a company that's interested in investing in the Caribbean, or you're invested in the Caribbean, you have any interest in broadband, you have any interest in technology, then CANTO is an amazing marketplace for ideas about how the Caribbean is developing and what are some of the challenges it's facing. It's just an excellent way for you to understand, what are the issues that are impacting the industry, and it is unlike any other marketplace that exists in the Caribbean or in anywhere else in the world. There are other marketplaces for ideas in the region about Caribbean development that focus on technology, and we can talk about the CTU, for example, or the University of the West Indies. And many of these institutions are excellent places to go for ideas about Caribbean development. But CANTO is the only organization, the only institution in the region which helps to foster a discussion about Caribbean development and about the impact of technology and about the journey toward digitization in a developing part of the world, with the perspective of the private sector, with the perspective of operators that are the backbone of that digital transformation. So if you're looking for a marketplace for ideas to understand, where the Caribbean is, CANTO is the place to be. And our objective isn't to tell you what to think. Our objective really is to expose you rather to all of the ideas that are there, with the perspective of the operators that provide the backbone, the infrastructure on which all this technology flourishes. And our hope is that by presenting a number of contending ideas that you have an opportunity to think about, the best ideas will float to the top. So CANTO is unique, and I hope you agree that the perspective we're offering is very different and useful. I want to take a very quick moment just to acknowledge that COVID has had a very devastating impact on the Caribbean, as it has throughout the world. Economically, it's been devastating for many countries, and of course, the number of people who have died is significant. in many of our countries, and it is and continues to be a significant public health crisis. But there is an interesting and I think very empowering story about the Caribbean during this pandemic, and it is the story of resilience. You know, in 2021, it was a story of the Caribbean, frankly, bouncing back from the harsh economic dislocation that we saw in 2020. And there's every reason to believe that the Caribbean will be growing from strength to strength in 2022. And, you know, this isn't unusual. The history of the Caribbean is a history of a people overcoming just nearly impossible adversity. For over 500 years, we've been overcoming incredible adversity because the Caribbean is just so fundamentally resilient. And that story of resilience is also true of CANTO. Despite the challenges that we've had in CANTO over the last few years, frankly, it's also been for CANTO some of the best years for us, because we've had to change so much about what we do and how we do it. And I think you can see the benefits of that today. So as I just close, I have a few more things that I just wanted to share. One is I wanted to thank my fellow board members, and I wanted to thank the board for their unwavering support to the organization, the time, the dedication, the volunteerism, their patience, and you know, the amount of just intellectual and emotional investment they've made in the organization is just really admirable. I want to take a moment to give a special thanks to, you know, the CANTO Secretariat, and in particular to Teresa Wankin. You know, Teresa is just an amazing professional. She's an amazing leader. She's a mom, she's a wife, and she works incredibly hard to keep this organization afloat, keep this organization going. She leads an incredible team, and she is just one of the most amazing professionals I've ever had the privilege of working with. And I just want to thank her for her unwavering dedication to this organization. But I also want to thank Jimmy and Andrea and Gloria and Gail and Cheyenne and Carmen and Leanne and Nicole for everything they've done to put this amazing event together. I want to thank as well our sponsors, our presenters, the production team that have put this event together. And I want to thank you, our participants, again for logging on. It really means a great deal to us. Finally, I want to announce that CANTO's annual summer conference will be taking place in person in Miami, fingers crossed, in July of this year. And we will shortly be sending out the dates to you, and we'll be sending out additional information about the conference. And I encourage you, if you are remotely interested in CANTO's events, if you have any interest in meeting with a wide group of stakeholders from a number of operators in the Caribbean, that event is a can't miss event. And anyone who's been to a CANTO event knows that we put on a great show. So I'm looking forward to seeing hopefully most of you or all of you in person. And I can't thank you enough again for just being here today. Have a great day. Please stay safe. Please keep your families safe, and have a great 2022.